This is the greatest story in soccer that you've never heard, and there's a lesson in it that will greatly help you in your own journey, in your own career. But first, my name is Andrew. I am a professional goalkeeper for Carolina Core FC in MLS Next Pro. It's my mission to help young goalkeepers like you develop the mindset, skill set, and habits to help you reach your next level and reach your goals. If you get any value out of this video, like, subscribe, share with another goalkeeper friend. The more that we build this community, it'll be a win-win for both of us. So back in 2019, I played USL2 for the Flint City Bucks in Flint, Michigan. I went up after my spring season of college soccer at Wake Forest and started playing in May of 2019. Had a pretty good year. We just barely made the playoffs after some crazy wins and ultimately went to the Central Conference playoffs. So that was the 4 top teams in the Central Conference. There were 4 conferences around the country. So basically it was like a round of 16 for the whole country. So 4 teams went to the Central Conference playoffs. We were the 4th seed, which means we had to travel all the way to Des Moines, Iowa to play the Des Moines Menace, who was the number 1 seed in hosting. And that season, they hadn't lost a game all season, and they actually hadn't let in a goal all season long as well. So we went on the bus 10 hours to Des Moines. And so we played the game. It was a hard battle. We were tied 2-2 and went into overtime. In the first overtime, they ended up scoring and making it 3-2. And so the clock kept ticking. And we reached the 120th minute, and it seemed like all was lost. I'm thinking about how it's been a good summer, grateful for the Bucks for giving me an opportunity to play, and just thinking about all the memories that summer, and started thinking about, okay, we're going to head back the next day. I'm going to have to drive my car all the way back to Charlotte and start getting reintegrated with my guys at Wake and thinking about, preseason coming up. So I had all these thoughts running through my mind. Like I said, 120th minute, 3-2. It had been a hard fought battle of a game, but it seemed like referee was about to blow the whistle. Before that happened though, one of our field players went down with an injury and we had no more field players left to sub in. So my buddy Gustavo Vasconcelos, he was the backup goalkeeper for that game, ended up throwing on a field player kit and got subbed on for our injured player. And so, like I said, 120th minute, there's no time left in the game. I'm thinking about, again, how it's been a good summer. I'm ready to get back to school and what that's all going to entail. And, I was disappointed that the game seemed to be lost. And so while I'm thinking all these things, one of our midfielders picks up the ball, takes a touch, looks up the field, and Gustavo is darting across from the sideline in behind their defense. Our midfielder, Justin Ingram, slits a through ball, a beautiful through ball through their defense. Gustavo runs onto it, and then this happens.
Ingram sends it up ahead. Oh, in the
it.
goal!
Can you believe that?
Oh, my goodness!
Can you?
In the goal!
Can you believe that?
Holy cow!
Injury time again, and Flint City have just equalized. Unbelievable.
Looked like
So Gustavo scores, again, our backup goalkeeper for that game, scores in the 120th minute, makes it 3-3. We go to penalties, and then this happens.
There's the whistle. And it's good. Flint City will advance.
And Ingram just slots that across his body into the roof of the net.
Flint City comes back.
Bell dives to his left.
And Bell collapses there in the goal. Only 3 goals he's given up in league play come tonight. And the regular season league.
So somehow, miraculously, we go on to win that game from being down with no time left. Our backup goalkeeper gets subbed on as a field player, makes the most incredible run of all time and the most incredible finish of all time. And so we end up 2 days later playing in the Central Conference final and we ended up winning that, which led us to be in the semifinal for the whole country. And we ended up actually hosting the semifinal back home in Flint. For that game, we had about 5,000 fans show up, and we ended up winning 1-0, which put us in the USL2 final for the whole country. And again, we actually got to host that one as well. It was a hard-fought game. We went into overtime, ended up getting a penalty, ended up scoring and winning that game. So we ended up being the national champions of the whole country, and we had about 7,200 people at that game. It was one of the biggest crowds I ever played in front of, and it was a super fun game, and it put a cap on that season at a high of just ending the season as champions.
2019 USL League 2 champions, Flint City Bucks.
I ended up leaving Flint and going back to Wake, and preseason was starting right away. If any of you have played USL2 before, you know that if you make it pretty far in the playoffs, you're pushing right into the time when the college season starts. So I ended up going home and then getting right to college and getting right into preseason. If you don't know my story, I played one game my freshman year. I played none my sophomore year, and that summer of playing with the Bucks was in between my sophomore and junior year. And winning that national championship gave me a ton of confidence to go into Wake, and I ended up winning the starting job that season. Had some success. We ended up going to the Final Four. I was the ACC Defender of the Week twice. I was third team ACC. Went from only playing one game between my first 2 years to having all this success and helping the team reach the only Final Four that we went to in my 4 years at Wake. And so I say this all because if Gustavo never scores that goal, we end up not winning a national championship at home in front of our fans. And like I said, winning that national championship gave me a ton of confidence going into Wake and being able to win that starting job. And so it's kind of that butterfly effect of all the things that happened as a result of one tiny moment. And so the big lesson here is there's going to be times where you feel like your situation, whatever you're in, is hopeless, right? You think that it's done. You think it's over. You think that just because you're the backup right now, it's always going to be that way. Just because you're down in the game right now, that's the game, and it's going to be done. And what you need to realize is that it's cliche, but it's never over until it's over. So that could be for a game that you're playing in. That could be for your season. That could be for your whole career. What has happened in the past doesn't define you, and you need to stay locked in and believe until the very, very end. Like I said, I had all these stories going through my head of what was going to happen in that moment in that game versus Des Moines, and rightfully so. I mean, I think the odds of a backup goalkeeper scoring and tying that game and then us going on to win a national championship for our home city in home field in front of 7,000 people was extremely unlikely, like less than 1%. But at the end of the day, that is what actually happened. So no matter how hopeless your situation might seem, if you're still in the game and you're still alive, there's still hope and there's still a way. So I hope that this video helps you know that there's always hope, there's always a chance. And you have to continually remind yourself of that, continue to believe, continue to keep working and staying in the present moment. And don't let those stories in your head dictate how you act and dictate your feelings in the moment. And know that, like I said, if you're still in it, there's still a chance, and you just got to keep fighting and keep believing, and know that amazing moments can happen just like these if you believe and if you stay present. So I know it's a pretty crazy story. Gustavo is an amazing guy, and super grateful for him for making that run and scoring that incredible goal. But I hope you just, like I said, continue to believe in yourself, believe in what's possible, and know that anything can happen at any moment. So stay in it, stay in the fight, stay in the game, continue to invest in yourself, continue to work, continue to believe, and know that there are great moments like this for you in the future as well. So hope you enjoyed this little story and lesson, and we'll talk soon.